What is up, YouTube? I am Eric and you are watching Retro Video Game Pickups. In this video we are talking about TAC and the Power of Juju and gonna give it just a little bit of a review. But before that happens, make sure that you subscribe because there are many awesome videos like this one coming at you. With that being said, let's hop into it. So here we are. I have my PlayStation 2 over here set up and I have TAC put in the system and I'm just sitting down to play it. And honestly, I had a ton of fun playing this. Now I played it a ton more after I got footage of this just because I didn't want to overload you guys with the same thing or anything like that. And honestly, I will say TAC and the Power of Juju is a game that I loved playing. Like, from the very beginning towards the end when I got to filming and not filming, it just was a fun game. Overall, I enjoyed it and I've never actually played a TAC game before, so I wasn't quite understanding what I was looking for going into it, but I found out it was a great game. I love the platforming, I love the action, adventure, all of that, but there's aspects of it that I liked that were very well worth it, and I think you guys would like this game as well. If you have a PlayStation 2 and you guys like games that are fun, this is definitely one of them. TAC is a weird and wacky game that has some funny lines to it. You will laugh your butt off if you are playing it. Honestly, I didn't really expect it, but it turned out to be pretty funny and I really much enjoyed it. Getting into it, I had a ton of fun. Now, I sat down kind of not knowing what to expect and I got something that I enjoyed. Now, I thought of it as kind of a Donkey Kong game. Whenever I think of Donkey Kong 64, TAC kind of goes with that a little bit. Maybe, I'm not 100% sure about saying that, but I will say that I am very happy I ended up playing this. Now, I know there are a bunch of more TAC games and honestly, I'm sure they are all fun. This one in its right mind was awesome. Now, I will say, for some reason, the older I've gotten, the less I have liked the DualShock controller. Now, I don't like how both of the joysticks are down below, and that kind of makes it hard. So what I found myself doing was actually using the D-pad and running around and having a ton of fun. And honestly, it worked out very great. It worked out so well that I used it for most of the game. Now, there were periods where I changed to it for some reason or another, but overall, it was a fun game. Now, controlling it with the R stick or the right stick was something that takes a little bit getting used to if you're not used to playing old games. Now, I enjoyed this very much because of what it did is it took what you were doing with the camera and you could control it, but you could also like press it down and it would kind of move towards where he was looking. So if you got kind of tangled up, you could just hold that button down until it moved the camera around to where you were behind him and it was more of a third person view, which I thought was very awesome because that was very helpful for whenever I was playing and I got lost in the camera or lost with the camera running around and all that stuff. So I thought that was a very cool thing. Now, when it comes to the actual gameplay, I had a ton of fun. Running around as TAC is something that's very cool. You pick up different weapons that can do different things. Some of them can help you jump better. Some of them can make it where it's a one-hit knockout. It's all cool. You could switch between those weapons, and honestly, when you need them, you can use them, and when you don't, you can use the ones that you prefer. Now, I thought this was a lot of fun because running around in this kind of somewhat open world, it's not a huge open world, but you do have the ability to go this way or this way or this way, wherever you want to on the map. It's a very cool way of doing it because I can go to wherever I want that kind of seems interesting to me, and I can always have fun with that. Now, I had a lot of fun with that, but I also had problems with that. That's one thing that I had problems with, is I would go do something but then they'd tell me kind of just a snippet of what I had to do next, and just couldn't figure it out. So there were times I would go all the way to where I was and come all the way back, and then realize I needed to go back to where I was. And that kind of was a pain, because honestly it was somewhat of a long trek back and forth, but I'm not going to complain too much. That was probably on me for not paying enough attention. But I will say the storyline is very good. You're attacked and you're trying to save his people because they all got turned into sheep, which is a very weird concept, but it's pretty funny when you get into it, because you have to go and save these people. Now some of them get trampled and they're like this thick, and one of the warriors is kind of flattened to death or alive. I don't really want to spoil anything for you, so I think it is very interesting in that way, but the game is a fun one to play. Now when I sat down and played it, music, you guys know, is a big deal for me. The music went well with it. Now there's some cool aspects of it that I really enjoyed. About that is whenever you get to the flowers to kind of be your boss battles, you would fight them and the music would change, and it would just be a lot of fun. And trying to hit them and get them at the certain point is kind of a difficult thing when it first starts. You see them throwing things at you and you have to figure out, wait until they're like egging you on, and then you can pound them and do damage without them hurting you. Now on the other side, they throw these little piranha plants. I'm calling them piranha plants because what else would I think of when I'm playing this, a Mario game, because piranha plants are a thing. They kind of throw these little piranha plants out and they kind of attack you when they want to, and you kind of got to beat them off and then wait till you can attack the main piranha plant that is the boss at that point, and it's very, very fun. Now I will say some of it is easier than the others, but that's kind of normal when you're talking about different games. Now some people might say that Tak doesn't look all that great, and honestly I don't know if I agree or disagree. Like, the cutscenes don't look all that great, but when you're actually in the world running around as Tak, you can have a ton of fun. You can smash things and do all that stuff that you kind of probably aren't used to. So I think it's very fun when you're playing it to play as Tak running around. Honestly, you can't get better than that. Like really, seriously, who would not enjoy having fun running around and attacking random little things that come out them, platforming to where you need to be, and all kinds of stuff like that. And that is one of the main things that this game brings to you that is very awesome. The platforming is very fun. It's hard to get around sometimes, but is also very interesting. The one thing that I played that I enjoyed about this was how the map was kind of used more than once. You could go to an area, do your objective, and come back, and then later on you could visit it again and do other things, which I think kind of added to the game, because it wasn't just go to this map, do what you need to, go to this map, do what you need to, go to this map, do what you need to. They kind of all work together later on in the game, and that is something that I really enjoyed. I thought this game was a lot of fun, and I think you probably would enjoy it too if you were playing it. And honestly, why wouldn't you play this game? It is a cheap game that you need to pick up on the PlayStation 2 that doesn't cost much. You could probably get all three of them for less than $20 if you bought them in the right place. But honestly, I think you would enjoy it so much like I did. I sat down, played for way too many hours, both recording and non-recording, because I played it afterward, because I wanted to let you guys know kind of what I thought about it as a whole. It is a fun game that you could really sink your time and teeth into and really come out of it happy that you played it. So that's why I decided to talk about the Tak and the Power of Juju, because it is such a fun game to play. So with that being said, I want to know what you think about Tak and the Power of Juju. Would you play this game? Have you played it? Do you love it? What do you like about it? So I want to say thank you so much for watching. I really enjoyed this, because honestly I don't do too many game reviews. I do them maybe once every 2 weeks. I don't do too many of them, But if you guys want to see more, make sure you comment down below, because I had a ton of fun sitting down here in my game room, just kind of relaxing, chilling, drinking some coffee, and playing Tak and the Power of Juju on the PlayStation 2. So with that being said, I want to say thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell notification, because it will let you know when I post more videos, which is almost every day. So with that being said, one more time, thank you so much for watching, and make sure you have a good day.